Kurt Fankhauser, Sunday, August 9th, 2026, Sunday update. Okay, the garbage truck lawsuit. So, the judge denied the temporary restraining order. However, there's going to be another hearing towards the end of August. In light of that, and I've had a lot of people request this and say, is there anything we can do? Is there anything we can do with a petition? I think there is, and I'm going to be drafting up a petition to get signatures from people that are opposed to these garbage trucks, and we're going to be looking for some volunteers. I already got some people that I think are going to be willing to help, but the Bratwurst Festival's this week, so it'd be a good week to do the petition drive for the signatures against the garbage truck. Now here's the thing, I noticed in the law director's filing, so you know how they keep saying, oh, these garbage trucks are going to save money. They're going to save money. We hear it all the time coming from the administration. Okay? Well, digging through the filing of the law director, there's an affidavit by the auditor, Auditor Lewis. And this is what it says. She says, based on my review, the City of Bucyrus has $200,000 available for the down payment for the planned purchase. The remaining balance of the loan is to be paid with the increased revenue to the fund from a solid waste utility rate increase, which we passed by council March of 2026 via Ordinance 14-2026. Now I looked this up, Ordinance 14-2026. It's a rate increase of $1 for both commercial and residential garbage. So here's the thing. If it's going to save us money, why did you need the rate increase? Okay? This is where the manipulation and their wording comes into play. So if we weren't going to buy these trucks, do we still need the rate increase, or can the citizens enjoy the lower rate? This is what you get when you have an auditor and a safety service director that are in cahoots with each other. Okay? Now what does cahoots mean? Well, let's just ask Google here for the definition of cahoots. Okay. Excuse me. I didn't have it pulled up. What does cahoots mean? The phrase in cahoots means being in a secret partnership, alliance, or conspiracy with someone else. It is most often used informally to describe people who are working together covertly, usually to pull off a trick, break a rule, or do something dishonest. That's what's going on here with the auditor and the safety service director. Now, I've kind of been vocal about them in the past, and here's what I know, okay? All I can tell you is what I know and what I have witnessed. And sometime, I believe in 2024, the auditor and the service director, I'm pretty sure it was 2024. I don't think it was 2025. I don't remember for sure. But our auditor, and I've posted the video of this, went down to the Ohio State House and testified before the state legislature on getting advocating for getting more of the local government funding in the state budget, which was pulled back, I don't know, a decade ago, and less money that the state gives to these cities now. And she wanted more funding given to the city like it had been way in the past. And I remember this was a big thing with former council president Sis Love was always preaching on it and advocating for it. Now here's the thing. I had no idea that she went down and did that, and that the service director, Tommy Starner, went with her. Okay? Never reached out to me as council president and said, hey, do you want to go to this? We're going down. You know, I could have testified. Any of the other council members could have testified. The mayor could have went down. Okay? Why did the auditor not tell council, at least through the council president, that she was going down to do this, and, you know, invite other council members to go and testify? Her and the service director, as far as I know, they went down to this thing by themselves. Okay? And I'm pretty sure they probably drove the city's Ford Flex down there. So, how long were they gone? When did they leave? When did they get back? This all was on city time. You know, I would like to know the answer to those questions. And why wasn't the council president invited or made aware of this? You know, this is normally something that the legislative members of the city would go to. They're the ones that do the budget. They're the ones that approve money and spending and all that. Okay, all the auditor's job is to make sure 1 + 1 = 2. She is not a political activist. Okay, why is she going down to the state house testifying? They kept this thing very quiet that they were going to do this. Okay, I'm just reporting it. Don't get mad at me for being the messenger. Okay, I think it was inappropriate for them two to go down there by themselves in a car. Okay, should have had somebody else go with you, but that was their decision. They never asked. And so I'm back to, I think they're in cahoots with each other. Okay, so because they're in cahoots with each other, we don't have accountability between those two offices, and it's probably costing us tax dollars. Because normally the auditor, and I've seen former auditor Schiffer do this all the time. Former auditor Schiffer would tell other departments and things, you can't do that, you can't spend that, that's not right. You know, she at least was having some checks and balances to the spending with the other city offices. The auditor we got now is, well, whatever the safety service director wants, you can do it. You can do it. Okay? Go spend the tax money. Go spend the citizens' tax money. Let's just go below $1.2 million on freaking garbage trucks, dude. One, the garbage trucks that we have now are working fine. This is an upgrade. Okay, they want something shiny and new and fancy on your tax dollar. That's what they want. And this is how I know it's not going to save any money. Okay, they say, oh, we're gonna get rid of employees. Okay, When have you ever seen the unions be okay with getting rid of employees? Unions don't stand for that, okay? Just the fact that the union is not balking at this tells you right there this whole thing is a conspiracy to spend your tax dollars, okay? It's probably the unions have figured out that they're going to have to do less physical labor, and they're going to maintain their union base some way, shape, form, or another. It's got to be what's going on here. So that's it. I hope you take this all into consideration and look forward to some more announcements on the petition drive against the garbage trucks, and it's only going to be signable by people that reside in the city limits. If you live outside city limits, you're not going to be allowed to sign it because, you know, unless maybe you're in the Timken subdivision and you have the trash service out there. I don't know if the City of Bucyrus provides service out there or not, but okay, that's it. Have a good day. See you in another video.